So we're going to get straight into one of everybody's favorite parts of the show, and that is the news from our UFO news correspondent, Jason McClellan. Hello, Jason.
And sometimes I also fall in the cool and credible category, right?
Oh, for sure.
All right.
That's a given,
just
buddy.
Had to check.
So cool, so credible.
Appreciate it.
Jason McClellan.
Well, greetings, everyone. This is your Open Minds news brief for Monday, April 9th, 2012. Start off with some UFO sightings today. A flying saucer was recently photographed emerging from the smog in Beijing. The photographer reportedly took the photo of this UFO from an overpass with a cell phone camera, and the witness claims to have been focused on the traffic below. So the flying saucer wasn't discovered until the witness reviewed the photo on his phone. This photo was published by the website IO9. They republished it from another site, but they were unable to locate the witness's statements anywhere other than the Canadian. And for those of you who don't know, the Canadian is this online newspaper that likes to advertise itself as being an alternative news source, and they really accept submissions from anybody, and they publish anything. So their information is less than credible. So it's up to you to decide if you want to believe that or not. But yeah, interesting photo. I mean, this UFO in this photo is like your old-fashioned flying saucer kind of coming out of the smog. But
yeah, it's so hard to say with such little information.
Right.
But if that is real and this thing was able to survive this dense pollution over Beijing, that is some advanced technology. That is for sure.
Good ventilation.
Yes.
Good ventilation. Well, I don't know if, well, I'm pretty sure you've noticed this, Alejandro. There seems to, in the past couple weeks, been a lot of video taken from airplanes of UFOs out the airplane windows. There was video of UFO recorded by an airplane passenger on a flight that was over Canberra, Australia on April 4th. And the video shows a small white object, and you can't really see much detail. It's kind of far away, and it moves very quickly. It zooms past the airplane, flying at a lower altitude than the airplane itself. You see the video, then you see this white thing just go like under, sort of below where the airplane is flying. No detail at all, even if you slow it down and go frame by frame with this video. So impossible to tell anything with that one either. You know, it's going at an incredible rate of speed. Some people have also pointed out that this there could be an indication that this video in particular could be a hoax, because at the very beginning of the video, if you look at the far left of the screen where this object, you know, from the direction this object comes, at the very beginning of the video, you already see the object there. Just for the first second of the video. The object is there, and as the plane goes, you know, it falls off the screen and then zooms by. So it's possible, I guess, that that thing was there, but it kind of goes with the plane too, like, but not moving. So it could be an indication that it's a glitch from some animation done to the video, but, you know, that's undetermined. Could be a hint, though. But that's just one of many that have happened in the past couple weeks. There was even one today from, I think, South Korea.
South Korea.
So I don't know what it is. I mean, I think, you know, these things have been in the news a lot. And that one was even covered by the Daily Mail, I think.
Yeah, the hard part is we had the one a few weeks ago that kind of started this craze. And this was a gentleman.
That was Amsterdam, right?
That was Amsterdam. And supposedly this guy flew from Amsterdam to his home in Dallas. In Dallas, took some video of his peppers and his tree. And then the next day, or I think it was even the same day, posted that picture in his video. I mean, all in the same day of flying back from Amsterdam. So, and that one kind of looks a little suspect. So I don't know. It all started from this. And sometimes, you know, especially in the news, it's like that. There are, or with trends like this, you know, there's a video that gets popular and then lots of people come and fake stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Australian one looks kind of cool. I mean, it looks kind of interesting. So, yeah, it's really hard to say.
You certainly have more people. You know, everybody has a cell phone now. Most have cameras. And, you know, I think there are a fair number of people who do look out the window for things. I know I certainly do every time I'm on an airplane. I'm all, it'd be cool to see something out there. But, you know, I certainly don't have my camera just shooting out my plane window hoping something will fly in front of it. That's the other odd thing about these videos, that they happen to just be shooting the nothingness out their window, and then something happens to fly in front of it. I mean, I guess I can see that some people want to record the sky because it is cool, flying above the clouds and everything. It does look awesome. So, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that something is not genuine, but I don't do that, but I'm sure there are people who do. And so you know, there's always that chance that they could catch something. Yeah,
and the hard part is a lot of these have not gone, or none of these, I don't think any of them come from reliable sources as far as reporting or anything either.
I'm not sure where the original source today was, the one that was in the Daily Mail.
Yeah, because the Daily Mail, as we know, is not that great of a source.
I even think their original source might have been YouTube as well, and that's where a lot of them get this initial information, and they even cite that as, well, the video on YouTube shows in the video information, and then they'll say, and more times than not, that YouTube channel that it's on is some UFO sighting channel.
Yeah.
So who knows where they're getting their information from either.
Yeah. What is great from these better credible news sources is when they talk to the witness and they do some sort of investigation.
Right.
And at least with a bigger news source, they have to do that sort of thing before posting a story. Even, you know, our good buddy Lee Spiegel does a lot more research than most of these places that just kind of pull something off of YouTube and say, here's what YouTube says, and decide for yourself.
Yeah,
because they have the money. That's what's frustrating. They can at least try to get some analysis done, but they never do, unfortunately.
And getting that firsthand witness testimony counts for a lot.
Yeah,
you know, when you're just getting off some random YouTube channel, the witness said this, and you've got no other source for that testimony.
Yeah,
it's difficult. Well, I've got another UFO sighting here, and this isn't really a sighting, but it's a possible UFO crash. An Argentinian farmer recently filed a complaint with local authorities. He alleges that a UFO landed in his cornfield, leaving behind a 6-foot-wide path of crushed corn plants that extends for nearly 2,000 feet. There are also witnesses who claim they saw, quote, a ship with strange lights and colors flying over the area, end quote. But unfortunately, and this sucks for the farmer, none of these witnesses have officially testified on behalf of the farmer. So they say they saw it, but they won't take the time to go down to City Hall or whatever for this guy's case and say, "Hey, this is
I wonder what they're
saw."
afraid of.
So I don't know either. But the officials say that because they're not officially going on the record, it's made it for a difficult case. So this poor guy is out his corn, and he can't get any help because people aren't.
What an interesting story, though, because I mean, it can't be easy to crush all that corn in a 6-foot, you know.
It's a very interesting case, and they've even gone out and investigated and found no tire tracks.
Yeah.
There's no other, you know, possible reason for it. They said that sometimes similar things will happen and people will steal people's crops, but there was no crop theft, no tire tracks,
just crushed.
Just this long sort of pathway where something crashed into it. So.
That's very strange.
It'd be cool if more people come forward, because apparently multiple people say they saw some sort of craft with multicolored lights.
When was this story? I don't think I actually saw it.
It was just reported today. I believe it happened a week ago.
Okay. Yeah, so hopefully more people will come forward and we'll get some more information.
Yeah, because it sounds like a good case, and they're actually investigating it.
Yeah, cool.
Well, various discoveries by NASA and other organizations during the past few years have generated considerable interest within the mainstream media and the general public in the search for extraterrestrial life. NASA's Kepler Space Telescope has been on a planning hunting mission since 2009, searching for Earth-like planets. The mission has already confirmed the discovery of 61 planets and found more than 2,000 planetary candidates. And recent data from the European Southern Observatory, their HARPS, their High Accuracy Radial Velocity Planet Searcher Planet Hunting Telescope, as we discussed last week, suggests there are tens of billions of Earth-like planets in our galaxy alone. Many thoughts you have the correct conditions to support life. And these recent discoveries have excited scientists and are fueling additional efforts to search for life elsewhere in the universe. The Canadian Astrobiology Network, known as CAN, centered at the University of Western Ontario, announced last week a partnership with NASA. The press release from CAN stated, quote, a number of extraterrestrial targets, including Mars and the moons Europa and Titan, have been identified by NASA as having the potential to host life or to provide valuable insight for researchers and scientists into the conditions that may have been present on Earth when life started, end quote. As an affiliate within the NASA Astrobiology Network, CAN hopes to, quote, strengthen existing ties, facilitate the establishment of new collaborations, and enhance training opportunities for both Canadian and American researchers and students. And more exciting, though, to me, and probably you, Alejandro, last week, was the announcement that the Kepler mission, that we talk about a lot on this show, will continue at least through 2016. It was originally scheduled to conclude later this year, but NASA announced that funding for Kepler is being extended. And Space.com explains NASA's prolific Kepler Space Observatory, which has found signs of thousands of alien planets, will keep hunting strange new worlds for at least 4 more years. So that is awesome news.
Go Kepler.
Hooray, Kepler. But they did, I think there were 4 or even more perhaps programs that they recently extended. These are programs that were scheduled to be scrapped, funding cut, but they've been so successful that they've decided to continue them because there's so much data still being collected by these programs, Kepler specifically.
Yeah, they're good. It's exciting.
So exciting. All right, and let's see. The search for extraterrestrial life is a major component to space exploration, but some scientists are specifically searching for our relatives. Space.com reports that a team of researchers is searching for, quote, siblings of the sun, stars born from the same parent star cluster, because they may have been seeded with life from Earth. So the idea, known as Panspermia, and we've mentioned that on the show before, isn't a new idea. And it's actually an idea, some scientists think that's how life on Earth may have began, from panspermia,
right.
Seeds from other things spreading to Earth. The process of panspermia is explained to Space.com by astronomer Mari Valtonen of the University of Turku in Finland. And he states, the idea is if a planet has life, like Earth, and if you hit it with an asteroid, it will create debris, some of which will escape into space. And if the debris is big enough, like 1 meter across, it can shield life inside from radiation, and that life can survive inside for millions of years until that debris lands somewhere. If it happens to land on a planet with suitable conditions, life can start there. Valtonen and his team theorized that if Earth was bombarded by comets and asteroids long ago, life-bearing debris could have transferred to other planets when other stars were much closer to our own. And Space.com explains, quote, that means somewhere out there in the galaxy might be your long-lost cousin.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they don't really mean like if a piece of Earth breaks off and, you know, you and your family get a free trip to Zeta Reticuli. You'd probably die, but
Hang
the
on,
bacteria,
kids.
yeah, but the bacteria inside of your belly and body would probably live on, and it would make it, and that's what would go forward.
Panspermia. It's an interesting theory. You know,
yeah, it's cool.
To a lot of scientists, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering where you're going with that, too, because I was going to say if they're looking for my relatives, they're in Globeville, in Denver. Not too hard to find.
Well, this is just some scientists. It's not all. And, you know, there are some far-out scientists. Yeah,
it's a great theory, and a lot of people feel, and there have been arguments that, of course, that's where life came from here, which makes sense because that's what we see here. Lots of life made it to, Hawaii, which was the volcano that came up, and then coconuts and things floated over there and sprung life.
Alejandro, let me squeeze in one more story before I'm done here.
All right.
That is extraterrestrial life could be hiding in recently discovered lava tubes on Mars. Photos taken by the European Space Agency's Mars Express spacecraft reveals rows of, quote, pit chambers, or pit chains, as they're called, lining the sides of volcanoes in the red planet's Tharsis region. These pit chains were likely caused by ancient volcanic activity, and the ESA explains, quote, lava streaming from volcanoes solidifies on the surface, leaving a molten tube of lava running below. Once volcanic activity ceases, the tubes empty, leaving behind a subterranean cavity. Similar lava tubes were discovered last year on our very own moon by NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. And these pit chambers could have also formed due to strains in the planet's crust or even as a result of groundwater leading to the collapse of surface rocks.
Right.
So scientists believe tubes like these could provide a safe environment for life. Jason Major of Universe Today explains, quote, even though the surface of Mars can receive 250 times the radiation levels found on Earth, the layers of soil and rock surrounding the tubes can provide adequate protection for life, whether it be ancient Martian microbes or future explorers from Earth. And I think that's really where our astronauts are going to go with the moon and Mars, you know, in terms of colonizing and building these colonies is subterranean structures.
And they might find subterranean caverns full of life and trees and animals and creatures. Wouldn't that be
I think
amazing?
the underground worlds there are probably pretty substantial. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think there's a lot of water down there. I mean, that's what they're determining with both the moon
Could
and
be
Mars.
tropical.
So, like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Paradise.
Fascinating.
You bet. All right, guys. Well, that is it for the news for today. Remember, you can check out all these stories and so many more at openminds.tv, your source for UFO-related news. I'm Jason McClellan, your Open Minds news correspondent, and you've just been briefed.